The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
West Ham chairman David Gold tweeted West Ham's injury list yesterday. Could I just have a similar Palace injury list, please?
It's got better hours, funny enough. We found ourselves in a poor situation a week or two ago, but Mamadou Sakho, Joel Ward have both recovered, which is a big boost for us, and Yohan Cabaye, who I thought was going to be out for a long period after his ankle injury against Arsenal, he's recovered too. So our injury list is just confined really to the ones that everyone knows about, and with players that will not be back for any time in the near future. That's of course is the two with the Crucius, Scott Dan and Jason, and of course we've got Jeffrey Schlupp, we've got Connor Wickham, and we've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So those five, but that's going to stay constant, I think, for the next few weeks at least.
The three you mentioned, including Sakho, will they be back in the squad?
Yes.
Brilliant, great news. The 2-2 draw against West Ham here at Selhurst, would you say that was the game that possibly started the great run?
I think we played very well that day. I think we were pretty unlucky not to win it. Although our equaliser came very late in the game, and it came through a West Ham error, if I remember correctly. But over the 95 minutes, I thought we played really well and deserved to win it. And I think it gave us a lot of confidence at that time that, we are capable. We have got the ability to both defend and attack well against our Premier League opponents. And I'd like to think that from that time onwards, we've been reasonably consistent in our performances.
Obviously, you didn't want a free weekend due to the FA Cup. Have you found the extra bit of training beneficial going into the game?
What was beneficial, it gave us a chance to give the players a 2-day break, or 3 if you count the Sunday, which we've really been unable to do. And with our small squad, where players have really played every game over that busy Christmas period, and it's the same for all teams, we found that 1 or 2 players were really pressed into service, and it was good to have that period where we could say, right, we don't have a game until Tuesday, it's a long way off. We can give you 2 or 3 days off and still have our 4 weeks training.
How have you found West Ham on David Moyes? Obviously, he arrived in a similar situation as you during the season. He's
done very well, hasn't he? And obviously West Ham are a big club with very good quality players, and a guy like David, of course, it was a good opportunity for him coming in as he did after Slaven Bilic, who probably feels himself a little bit unlucky at the moment because he worked with those players himself and probably thought the performances could have gone my way too, but they didn't, unfortunately. But all credit to David and his staff for getting the team to play in the way they're playing at the moment, and we're ready for a very, very tough game tomorrow night, irrespective of injuries.
When you get an injury, you seem very unlucky. It always seems to be a bad one. Do you feel it's left you slightly short in some areas, looking ahead to the second half of the season?
Well, I think we've been short from the offset, really, from when the offset being the time when I joined the club, which was after the transfer window, of course. So right from the very beginning, we've talked about certain areas in our team where we think we're short of cover, short of players to help us out if anyone gets injured. And of course, we lost Benteke, our centre forward, for a long period of time, and we didn't really have a recognised centre forward to go in his place because Connor Wickham has been injured for such a long time. And the same applies to goalkeepers. We said right at the beginning we should really have 3 goalkeepers just in case one of them gets injured, and we still only have 2. So in those 2 areas nothing has really changed since the 12th of September when I started my job here, and that's why we still continue looking and still continue our work, because we would like to add some players to our squad to make certain we're stronger and have better cover. It's not that I'm unhappy with the 11 that I can put on the field and the 2 or 3 subs who cover them. For example, at the moment, tomorrow we have literally 19 players to choose from, and one of them could possibly go out on loan, so that would be 18. So there's nobody left behind at our club. Now that's pretty unusual, I think, and maybe not for West Ham with all their injuries, but most clubs at least have a few players every week that don't quite make the bench but are still in the club.
Are you able to give me the name who could be going out on loan?
Well, I don't think I will yet. I think it would be probably wrong to do that, but you'll find out soon enough anyway. What's the couple of days, you don't need it. And it's not something which is going to make headlines in your channel, so don't worry about it.
Okay, names that I have to give. Vincenzo Guita, the Kentucky goalkeeper. Is there an update whether he'll be coming in January, or is that someone you'd like to see in the summer?
There's no update on that, but it's a player, of course, that we like and a player that we're still pursuing, and it would be nice if he can come in the January transfer window, but that's something that the chairman and Doug Friedman are working hard on, and I can't update you.
And Ibrahim Amadou from Lille, is there an update there? There seems to be a bit of a disagreement over a loan or a permanent. Is that someone you'd like as well?
Well, again, it's another name that's been mentioned, and a name that we have talked about, but once again, it's a deal or a decision or a situation that's being dealt with really at the level of the chairman and sporting director, and I'm just waiting to see if anything transpires.
And Ashley Barnes is the latest player linked for a striker role. Could you confirm is that a player you'd be interested in?
It's the first I've heard of it when I saw it on your channel, so as far as I'm concerned there's no truth in it at all, but once again he's a good player, of course, and you have to be very careful when you answer these questions, because if you're not careful you end up as being perceived to have criticised a good player, but as far as I'm concerned, Ashley Barnes is not a name we've been talking about, and I was rather surprised when I saw we were linked with him.
Do you think though you've been maybe too reliant on Christian Benteke this season? You would like maybe to add someone for him as well?
Well, I think I said that right, a few minutes ago, from the 12th of September when I inherited the squad. The obvious thing for me was that we are desperately short of centre forwards who actually play centre forward, because we have quite a few players who are wide players who can play in the middle, but they're wide players by trade. And of course the other area that I identified as being a key area of weakness was in the goalkeeper situation, where there's only two. So really nothing has changed in the last 2 or 3 months, and I'm still hoping that it will change in these last couple of days of the transfer window.
In terms of numbers, in terms of players coming in, what would be a successful deadline for you?
A successful deadline would be if we get cover in the areas that we've talked about, and those areas, as I've said now, to the extent that I'm boring myself, are goalkeeper and centre forward.
And obviously with England a few years ago that you were involved in deadline day, do you enjoy it?
Not particularly, no. I mean, I like working with the squad of players that I've been given to work with, and I'm not a great lover of this period where it's all about speculation, where it's all about rumours and false information and fake transfer news. It's not something which I enjoy at all, and I should be more than happy when the 1st of February comes around and I know what group of players I will have to work with for the remaining couple of months of the season in this very important period where we need to try and maintain our Premier League status. So it's I don't find any enjoyment in it whatsoever, and I think it's a very, very difficult market for the people who do have to deal in it, namely the club owners and the sporting directors.
Thanks very much. Roy.
Pleasure.
Okay. Pete?
All right. At the moment, the Premier League, it looks like sort of from Watford downwards could be involved in a struggle to stay in the division. Have you ever known it like this before, where perhaps the bottom half of the table is as exciting as the top half?
I don't know that I can say I've really known it before, because I think this year, as you rightly say, is exaggerated. I think for a long while we've been going in that direction, that there's 5 or 6 teams that really quite seriously think they can win the league, and the other teams in the league are much more interested in staying in it than worrying about whether can we win it or not. But this year in particular, with such a small number of points between so many teams, of course it's a dogfight extraordinaire, and it could well continue if the results continue as they have been right up to the wire.
We had last week a lot of the Premier League managers that were left in the cup mentioning that it was is more important for Premier League survival than for them to maintain some presence in the cup. Can you understand that?
I can't understand how anybody who follows football could think otherwise. And I heard someone yesterday from Wigan saying it was more important for them to have won the cup than to have stayed in the league. But unfortunately, there aren't too many owners of Premier League clubs who have that opinion today. Because when you go out of the Premier League, you have such enormous financial difficulties, and staying in the league gives you such enormous financial strength. Whereas the FA Cup is a great thing to win, and we'd all like to win it. And there's any manager who will say, I would not like to win the FA Cup. But I think that most managers would suggest, if they're putting their club's interest at heart, that staying in the league would always have to take precedence, because when you come out of the league, there's no guarantee you're going to get back in, and all it will be a happy memory.
Would you say you perhaps start, well, certainly on equal terms tomorrow, if not slight favourites, because your injury situation is nowhere near as bad as David Moyes?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I don't know that we'll ever start favourites in games. I would be very, very surprised we will start favourites in any Premier League game. I think that we are capable of competing and even beating any team in the league. I think we've probably shown that already, but there's no question of us ever wanting or expecting to assume the mantle of the favourite going into the game. And I've had so many experiences in the past where people have told me it will be an easier game for you because their goalkeeper's injured, or this player's injured, or that player. And the players who come into the team play even better than the ones who've been playing before. So all I can do is prepare for a very strong West Ham team, and we'll go into it with the modesty we take to every Premier League game. But it's a modesty which doesn't prevent us from believing that we're capable of winning it.
Okay, thank you. That's the end of the broadcast section.